So finally, Tesla has been launched here in Malaysia with the Model Y starting from 199,000 ringgit. That is a price that everybody was surprised with, and it's far cheaper than pretty much everyone expected. So, has this car been worth waiting for? Let's go take a closer look. Like I said, the pricing is surprisingly cheap, and that is because it easily undercuts pretty much all of its competition, and that includes the BMW iX1, the iX3, the Mercedes-Benz EQA and EQB, Hyundai Ioniq 5, as well as the Kia EV6. This car makes all those cars appear overpriced now here in Malaysia, which is absolutely amazing. For the Malaysian market, we are getting 3 different variants, starting with the standard range rear-wheel drive. This gets you an LFP battery enough for a total range of around 455 kilometers, and that is a proper WLTP test cycle, not one of those silly CLTC or NEDC claims either. It gets from 0 to 100 in just 6.9 seconds, which is plenty fast enough. But if you want more performance, you can go a level up, which is the Tesla Model Y long range all-wheel drive. This adds an additional electric motor for the front axle, so we can get from 0 to 100 now in just 5 seconds. And the battery is also bigger, although it is the slightly older tech NMC ternary battery with a total range of up to 533 kilometers, hence the long range name, of course. But if 0 to 100 in 5 seconds flat is still not quite fast enough for you, there is still this, the Tesla Model Y Performance All-Wheel Drive. This puts everything up to 11. You get bigger wheels, beefier brakes, lower, sportier suspension, plus of course even more performance. This can now get from 0 to 100 in just 3.7 seconds, which is supercar, hypercar territory. But of course, because of the added performance, it does have a slightly lower range compared to the long range version at just over 500 kilometers, but that's still more than fast enough for pretty much everyone. Top speed is 217 kilometers per hour for the lower 2 variants, but if you buy the performance, that gets up to 250 kilometers per hour. That's probably why it needs this fancy carbon fiber rear boot lid spoiler. As for charging, first things first, the charging port is neatly hidden behind a flap by the rear taillight over here, but when you close it up, it looks completely normal. There is no, abnormal flap everywhere, and it looks symmetrical both left and right. This is a nice solution for this problem. And then once you open it up again, you see that this has a Type 2 and a CCS2 port, which is different from Model Ys from countries like Japan and in the US. Those have a different port altogether. With this, you are open to use regular home chargers, normal public AC or DC chargers as well. But of course, one of the biggest USPs of buying a Tesla is getting exclusive access to Tesla superchargers. With superchargers, even here in Malaysia, with the V3 supercharger that you see in the back there, you will get up to 250 kilowatts of charging speed. And Tesla claims at optimum conditions, this can charge up to 120 kilometers in just 5 minutes, which is amazing. But of course, that is only if you're using a supercharger. If you're using a regular DC charger, even a super fast ones like the 350 Gentaris, you won't actually get up to 250. That's because Tesla superchargers run a rather unique or proprietary high ampere, high voltage settings. And so with a regular public chargers, you can get perhaps up to 150 and not much more than that. But of course, all those prices I mentioned are all for the standard specs before options. This car comes as standard with a white paint color option, but if you want any other color, you gotta pay extra for it. If you want silver, blue or black, that is an extra 5,000 ringgit. If you want the beautiful multi-coated red color, that is an extra 10,000 ringgit. And for the lower 2 variants, the standard range and long range versions, it comes standard with 19-inch wheels, but you can also get 20s for an extra 10,000 ringgit. Fortunately, the performance version comes standard with the 21s. Even the interior can be fully customized. As standard, it comes in black, but if you want the beautiful white interior, that's an extra 5,000 ringgit. And on top of all that, there are a few small little things that you can add on as well, including enhanced autopilot, full self-drive. All those you can add on for quite considerable prices. You can see all these in the Tesla configurator website, which is now live. Inside, as you've come to expect from a Tesla, it is super simple. There isn't an instrument cluster in front of you. Pretty much everything is embedded within this big center screen. Everything you can control is also within this screen as well, including adjusting the steering wheel, adjusting the aircon vents. Everything is in the screen. That is insane. Whether that is a good thing or an annoyance, that's going to be up to your own preference, of course, but I'm sure it's something that you will eventually get used to. Now, back on the screen, you can also have Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube while you wait for your car to be charged. There's even a bunch of games that you can play, and even an in-car karaoke option. As you know, the Model Y doesn't have any form of key. You get a digital key as standard, or you can even use your phone as a replacement for the key fob. Once you get inside, there is no push start button. You just get in, press the brakes, and push this Mercedes style stop down or up as you want to move. If you didn't know, Tesla used to share a few parts with Mercedes-Benz, and that included the stop right here, which is why they've just continued using this simple same interface. To open the door is also very, very unique. You just put your hand in the holder over here and tap the button right there. There are no door handles that you have to pull open or whatever. This is a lot simpler. But just in case the car completely runs out of battery, there is still a fail-safe physical latch, which is right here, which you can pull and the door will pop open. Now, one last thing, a major concern among customers is the build quality of Teslas. That has long been a source of pain for Tesla. But the Model Y, especially since it's built in Giga Shanghai, the build quality appears to be very, very good. I don't see any uneven panel gaps on the outside, and inside, even all the plastic bits feel pretty decent. I would say these are on par with, say, a Hyundai Ioniq 5 and a Kia EV6. Perhaps not quite to the level of, premium car makers like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, but if I'm paying 200,000 for this car, I would be very, very happy with this build quality. As for the rear quarter, space is also very good. You get a lot of leg room and headroom as well. For your reference, I am 167 centimeters tall, but even if you are 180, you should be able to fit in the back here with pretty much no problems at all. The seats are also very comfortable. There is a nice gap between the floor and the seat base, so you don't have your knees up in the air like in most other EVs, especially, Tesla Model 3s and Tesla Model S's. This is much, much better. Even the rear backrest can be reclined as well, so it's very comfortable in the back here. Unfortunately, you only get a standard rear aircon vents with no climate control buttons in the back here, and you do get a full glass panoramic sunroof in the back here, which cannot even be covered with any sort of canopy or any cover. But most Tesla owners here in Malaysia say it's not too bad once you put a set of tint on it, but I'll be a judge of that once I get this car for a test very soon. As for the boot, it is absolutely enormous. Tesla claims over 800 liters from floor to ceiling, and you can just see right here, there is a massive hole under the bottom floor, and unlike earlier Tesla Model Ys, you do get a proper parcel shelf in this Giga Shanghai model. The practicality factor extends to the front as well, where the Tesla Model Y gets a far more usable frunk or front trunk compared to most of its competitors. The Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6 has a 25-litre front space. This has over 100 litres. You can fit a few duffel bags in here, all your tapao foods, no problems at all. So practicality, Tesla has absolutely nailed it. So that's our quick look at the brand new Tesla Model Y for the Malaysian market. Trust me, there are plenty more to cover, including all the features and tech offered on this car, but we'll cover all that in the full review video, hopefully very soon. For now, let me know what you think of the car. Do you think it's good enough in terms of specs, of range, and do you think it's actually affordable? Which I actually agree with right now. Do let me know in the comment section below. For now, thank you for watching and stay safe, everyone.